In LA this week.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to continue, but we can't if we don't respect the space.
Demonstrators demanding the firing of LAPD Chief Charlie Beck interrupt a town hall meeting, forcing LA Mayor Eric Garcetti to be whisked away by police. And now response from the mayor regarding alleged police brutality. I'm Gil Reyes with the story next.
This Family Justice Center, the first of its kind in LA. Finally, abuse victims can get all the help they need under one roof. I'm Anna Marqueece, and we'll have that story coming up.
The economic forecast for Los Angeles is a lot stronger than many other big cities across the country. I'm Anita Bennett in Universal City at a meeting of San Fernando Valley business leaders, and I'll have that story just ahead.
Hello and welcome to LA This Week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Yana Kay. Our top story, a town hall meeting at a South LA church cut short for rowdy behavior. Officers escorted LA Mayor Eric Garcetti out of the building to the chorus of angry chants. As Gil Reyes reports, protesters are demanding changes at the LAPD.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to continue, but we can't if we don't respect the space.
What began as a civil discussion about police tensions and other problems in South LA became increasingly heated as the night wore on. First, protesters turned their backs on LA Mayor Eric Garcetti when he spoke. Then came the chants and the interruptions.
So I get why it is important. Just hear me out for 1 second.
Later, as the mayor tried to leave Holman United Methodist Church, an angry crowd surrounded him. Included were members of the group Black Lives Matter, which formed following the recent killings of unarmed African-American suspects by police. Local protesters have demanded the firing of LAPD Chief Charlie Beck, who they say is protecting guilty officers. Residents we spoke to support the protesters' cause, but not their behavior.
They really shouldn't have interrupted the mayor's speech last night. They should have let him, say what he had to say.
Mayor Garcetti chalks up the experience as being, quote, part of the job, while sympathizing with the Black Lives Matter movement, as well as the families of suspects and others killed at the hands of police. He's also offering his full support to LAPD Chief Charlie Beck.
I think he's been a progressive, forward-looking police chief. And you look around the country where other cities are struggling to do things like have an independent civilian police commission to put body cameras on people. Los Angeles is leading the way. We're certainly not perfect, and any loss of life always concerns me. We're going to make sure that our officers are trained better on de-escalation of force, and any officers who are found out of policy, as we've seen in just recent months, will be sent to jail.
Members of the public continued to vent their frustrations at a police commission meeting the next day.
LA is leading the nation in police shootings, so we are failing. We are failing in public safety.
As those voices demanding change appear to be getting louder. Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Police made no arrests and no one was hurt. Well, it's a building that had sat empty in Van Nuys since the 1994 Northridge quake, but now it's being reborn as the Family Justice Center, a place that brings hope for survivors of abuse. Anna Marqueece has more.
For the first time, LA has a place where victims of abuse and violence can get all the help they need under one roof. People like Julie Kundert, who was trapped in a violent relationship with 4 children. They are now out of it, and her abuser is serving 24 years behind bars.
The scary thing is if you start hitting back, they get more aggressive. But it was to the point where I had to do something, otherwise I was going to get choked out. And so that made him mad. And so he put something inside me, threw me on the bed, started to rape me, and it just went on and off for probably about 6 to 8 hours.
We see the hurt and the mangled bodies that are as a result of domestic violence.
When I do a sexual assault exam, what I'm looking for are any injuries, scratches, cuts, bruises, sores, discharge.
LA's first Family Justice Center marks its grand opening in the Valley. It's a place where survivors can be examined, treated, interviewed, and supported by counselors all at once. The LAPD, the district attorney, and medical services are all housed here. And because counseling sessions are recorded, the victims will not have to repeat the ordeal over and over to different agencies. For For U.S. Representative Tony Cardenas, who helped champion the center, it's an emotional moment.
They deserve for their heart and soul to be made one again.
The center has been unofficially open for about a year, serving close to 1,000 people. That's almost 100 survivors walking through here every month as they try to rebuild their shattered lives.
That could be a child who's 2 years old and has been sexually abused, could be a 9-year-old child who's witnessed domestic violence, maybe even witnessed the murder of a caregiver.
Meanwhile, Councilmember Nuri Martinez says another kind of abuse lurks in her district and needs to be addressed: child sex trafficking.
This seems to be normal for some men to traffic kids in and around my communities, and for grown adults to think it's okay to roll up at 2 o'clock in the morning and purchase a 13-year-old is wrong. It's disgusting, and we need to do more to do something about that.
For those who do get help here at the center, life begins to hold more hope. Kundert has started a foundation and helped donate this room at the center. She and her kids are finding more and more reasons to smile as they rebuild their lives. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
The agency that helps run the center is called Strength United. Others who attended the grand opening and helped champion the center include First Lady Amy Elaine Wakeland, LA County District Attorney Jackie Lacey, and LA City Attorney Mike Fuhrer. Well, after years of belt-tightening at City Hall and at companies across the region, the economic outlook in LA is now sunny. As Anita Bennett reports, the city is once again a major player in several key industries.
Since starting his term 2 years ago, Mayor Eric Garcetti says City Hall has helped raise LA's economic fortunes by cutting red tape and encouraging a more business-friendly climate.
Since becoming mayor, I've seen a 3% drop in unemployment, nearly 90,000 jobs, the fastest pace in about 10 years added to the economy, and just as impressive, over 50,000 new business and corporations in the city of Los Angeles.
The mayor touted those successes at the Valley Industry and Commerce Association's Business Forecast Luncheon in Universal City. Garcetti told attendees, unlike Chicago and other cities that have seen their populations shrink, people are actually flocking to LA and businesses booming in key industries like aerospace and Hollywood.
So with filming, we set about inspiring Sacramento to get a film tax credit that is more than tripled, which we just did a press conference last week on the set of American Horror Story Hotel. We saw in this first year of the tax credit, $1.07 billion of production come back to Los Angeles just in the first year. A record-breaking year, 54%.
Many residents and business owners have noticed those changes, Councilman Mitch Englander says.
I get overwhelmed because people actually take the time to send thank you letters now, and I get them almost daily. Somebody delivered a really nice bouquet of flowers to our office, a business the other day, saying, because of you, we were able to open on time, and we thought it was going to be another 6 months.
Adding to these successes, Mayor Garcetti says by working with local businesses, the city has been able to increase the number of youth summer jobs available from 5,000 to more than 12,000. In Universal City, I'm Anita Bennett for LA This Week.
The tech sector has also seen an explosion in growth. According to Mayor Garcetti, LA is now the #1 county for tech jobs in America, even outranking Santa Clara County, the heart of Silicon Valley. Well, Latino businesses are taking center stage on Hispanic Heritage Month as the second annual Hispanic Enterprise Business Summit kicks off. Anna Marcos was there.
Raul Morales is one of LA's small business success stories. A Mexican immigrant, he started his business, Taqueria Vista Hermosa, from scratch here at Mercado La Paloma. He cooks authentic Mexican food for his restaurant and his catering service.
It's very busy weekend, and Monday to Friday we have a school, delivery, office, USC, plus my customer in my restaurant.
Morales now has a new customer, the Hispanic Enterprise Business Summit, which is holding its annual event here. The event was created by the Vermont-Slauson Economic Development Corporation, which encourages small businesses.
We also provide affordable housing, we do business development training, we develop shopping centers, and we offer space for small businesses to grow. The Hispanic community is one of the largest growing communities in Los Angeles, particularly in the business community.
The City of LA is a multi-billion-dollar economic engine. and only a small portion of that's going to local businesses.
This place, Mercado La Paloma, is an example of a successful Hispanic business model. About a dozen businesses, restaurants, arts and crafts stores, even a seamstress do brisk business here, especially during breakfast and lunch. Meanwhile, the Hispanic Business Summit continues in one of the rooms here, providing entrepreneurs with access to financing, business planning, and more.
A big focus right now for the administration is on exporting, because the reality is that 95% of the world's customers live outside of the United States, but only 1% of U.S. businesses are exporting. So we want to make sure that more of our businesses are exporting. It's great for our economy, number one. Number two, Latino business owners have a wonderful advantage in that they have their feet in both cultures.
Right now, I got a manufacturer in Mexico. This manufacturer is for artisans.
Arts and crafts?
Art and crafts. I think so. For good business, I sell cheap. You buy cheap for me.
Other tips: draw up a business plan and assemble a team that includes a mentor, a lawyer, an accountant, and a banker who gets your business. A plan and some capital balanced with sound business practices just might turn that dream into an American success story. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
The Small Business Administration offers free advice and counseling on starting your own business. Visit them at sba.gov. Well, affordable housing and other programs could see a boost thanks to a $1 billion donation. As Gil Reyes reports, the grant coincides with a new study about community involvement.
One of the nation's most powerful charities promises to give in a big way.
We want to connect. We want to be part of something bigger.
The California Community Foundation promises to donate $1 billion to the city and county of Los Angeles. The payments to be spread out over 10 years. That's funding for early childhood education, health clinics, low-income housing, and the arts.
That $1 billion announcement made here at LA's Huffington Center, where the California Community Foundation released the results of an eye-opening study. It said that 49% of poll respondents here in LA County would like to contribute more to their community, but simply don't have the time.
And we're not talking monetary donations, but the cost-free giving of oneself through volunteering. The poll suggests nearly half of those polled want to volunteer but can't because they're simply too swamped. The poll sponsored by the California Community Foundation, the LA Times, and USC.
The sad confirmation of what I've already seen through my work, which is that because of traffic, because of so many commitments that people have, they would rather participate in online activism than actually going out and helping people or working with people.
The poll also found that most LA County residents don't trust local government, part of the reason why they're not participating in local elections. But LA Mayor Eric Garcetti cites another recent study conducted by Loyola Marymount University.
That looks at the way people feel about city and county services, and that rose 15% this past year to a majority almost now of Angelenos who feel good about their government, which is, a pretty unique thing. We are still optimistic.
The whole notion is to demystify government. People just don't know what the hell is going on with these governmental structures. If we make them more clear, people will participate.
And possibly give more of what they can. In South LA, Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Nearly 40% of respondents also say they would like to participate in more local government, but don't know how to get involved. Well, there's a new homeless encampment growing on South LA streets. Councilmember Kern Price is reaching out to those homeless residents through Homeless Connect Day. Anna Marcos takes us there.
Homeless Connect Day in South LA has some people dancing in the street. And why not? People are lining up for the free haircuts, health screenings, dental exams, the cell phone service, housing services, and more.
It feels better, good, This is just a labor of love. What it does is gives them a better outlook on themselves.
It was just one more step in the direction of, making them whole again and having them, be permanently housed and not looked at as, a piece of the property on the sidewalk.
Often it's the little things that matter, whether it's a nice haircut, some soap, conditioner, or deodorant. But this is also about the big things, like supportive housing, counseling, and HIV testing.
So I'm going to be conducting the test, and it's going to take 20 minutes to get you the results, okay?
Okay. Councilmember Curran Price and the Homeless Outreach Program in South LA have organized the event as they see a new tent city sprouting up here. There are almost 2,500 homeless people in this part of South LA, more than in any area except Skid Row.
I've been homeless for since February, and I've been staying different places with my daughter, sleeping in my truck.
Someone's like me. You know, I'm homeless, I have my badge, I'm a veteran, I have my badge, I'm trying to get replaced, and it's just been a runaround, you know, and that's, you know, and it's not, and it shouldn't be like that.
Those are the individuals we're trying to reach out to, especially. Unfortunately, it's not just here in the 9th District, not just in South LA, it's a citywide disaster that we're attempting to deal with.
Meanwhile, Giovanni, fresh from his hair salon session, has scored some new clothes.
Pants and shoes and socks.
Why yellow shoes?
That's all they got, you know.
First thing is thank you, America. I'm from India and I got a purple shoe. And I'm so happy to get a purple shoe because purple is the color of peacock, and our peacock is our national bird. So I'm so happy.
For some, that's reason enough to celebrate. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
Dozens of homeless advocates and federal, state, and local agencies offered their services at the event. Well, he's one of the newest members on the LA City Council, and now Marqueece Harris-Dawson is celebrating his first 100 days in office. Anita Bennett fills us in on what he's accomplished so far.
With a little mariachi music and a lot of excited residents, City Councilman Marqueece Harris-Dawson kicked off a community celebration marking his first 100 days in office.
In 100 days, 107 alleys cleaned up completely. We've got some of them on the boards. 300 tons of trash picked up in 3 months.
Harris-Dawson represents South LA, which includes Crenshaw, West Adams, and Lamert Park. During this recent gathering at Crenshaw High, he received a stamp of approval from Congresswoman Karen Bass.
This is just 100 days. I can't wait until we celebrate his first year in office and his first term in office, and I feel very confident that we are going to see the quality of life in the 8th District improve dramatically with Councilman Marqueece Harris-Dawson.
And he was praised by Council President Herb Wesson for bringing a sense of camaraderie to City Hall.
This is the first time that the council members south of the 10 freeway get along. We love each other. We work together. We recognize that the things that you want, need, and expect, that we have to work together to ensure that you get them.
Harris-Dawson's office has also launched a 311 campaign. It's meant to encourage residents to report problems like graffiti, and the community has responded.
Every month we've been in office, we've increased our calls by 2,000 or more every single month, so give yourselves a big round of applause.
Whatever he chooses to work on next, the councilman has already proven he wants to make city government more people-friendly for all residents. I'm Anita Bennett for LA This Week.
Councilman Harris-Dawson also listened to ideas from residents on how to rebuild South Los Angeles. Well, firefighters rush to save students when an earthquake strikes a local school for the deaf. But it's only a drill, part of the Great Shakeout. As Gil Reyes reports, the hope is practice makes perfect.
These kids practice a drill that could save lives during a major quake. The catchphrase, drop, cover, and hold, reminds them to drop to the ground, take cover under a desk, and hold on till the shaking stops.
The practicing part of it, it might seem silly because we haven't had a major earthquake in so long, but if you don't practice, your instincts will take over when we do have an earthquake, and the instinct is to run, and that's the worst thing you can do. People are injured or killed running into or out of buildings.
Over here.
The group My Safe LA teams up with the LA City Fire Department for this earthquake drill at Marlton School for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing. Adding to the challenge of rescuing kids with special needs, first responders worked under what's called a degraded mode, or limited resources. A skeleton crew was forced to respond quickly to problems throughout the entire campus.
Hey, can you hear me? Some rooms there was a fire, some rooms kids were trapped. So an overall thing was just what would happen if there was a large earthquake.
It's all part of the Great Shakeout, millions practicing similar drills in classrooms worldwide. Here at Marlton, students get to put on horror makeup and play it up for the cameras. Firefighters escort the injured to the school's field where one child is lost.
Red, if someone's missing, get in the line for me, get in the line.
Better that mistakes happen now than during an actual emergency.
Are there lessons learned? Absolutely. Things we could do better next time? Absolutely. But overall, your Los Angeles Fire Department is completely prepared to handle even the most significant earthquake in the city.
In the Crenshaw district, Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Similar shakeouts took place in several U.S. states this year, also in Canada, Italy, and Japan. Well, this is the mother of all beach cleanups. Once a year, people from around the world get to work tidying up our trashed beaches on Coastal Cleanup Day. Anna Marcos takes a look.
About a dozen or so volunteers are spending a sunny afternoon cleaning up what they love, our precious beaches. But the dozen volunteers are not alone. They are joined by 10,000 earth lovers all over California and more than 500,000 volunteers around the world for Coastal Cleanup Day.
I think the beach should be clean so people can come to the beach happy and not having to worry about their environment.
When you see someone cleaning at the beach, even though you're not cleaning up, it makes you think about your actions.
Heal the Bay is hosting 50 of the cleanup sites in the LA area, this one in Venice Beach. So, what are the litter pickers finding most?
Cigarette butts.
Lots and lots of plastic.
Studies show that cigarette butts are indeed the litter most often found on beaches. But let's not leave out plastics. Plastics make up as much as 80% of the debris found floating in the ocean.
We were able to highlight and identify some problem plastics, namely plastic bags and styrofoam. And cigarette butts. And what we did with that information that all these volunteers collected was we put some legislation and some regulations in place.
Today, the earth and our oceans are left a little happier as volunteers at beaches around the world clean up the trash others have left behind.
Throw your hands up in the air like you just don't care. Now, do it.
I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
Heal the Bay, by the way, also holds local beach cleanups each month. While preserving a natural habitat in a popular Hollywood neighborhood, a multi-million-dollar investment that aims to connect LA communities, and paying tribute to the Korean American culture. All these stories and more in CityBeat. A fundraiser is underway to purchase 17 acres of open space wildlife habitat in Laurel Canyon for preservation and protection from potential development. Community groups have agreed to buy the land for $1.6 million if they can raise that amount. Once purchased, the groups plan to turn the land over to the Mountains Recreation and Conservation Authority. Council members Paul Koretz and David Rue were on hand at a press conference showing their support for the cause.
This is an opportunity that comes once in a lifetime. An opportunity to permanently preserve green space, protect the fundamental importance of wildlife habitats, and secure the future of our residential neighborhoods.
Mayor Eric Garcetti and County Supervisor Sheila Kuehl announced a joint investment of $6 million in the Los Angeles River Valley Greenway. The funding will make the project shovel-ready by enabling completion of design on 12 miles of gaps in its valley portion. Once completed, the Greenway will make it possible for Angelenos to walk and bike from Canoga Park to Elysian Valley. Mayor Eric Garcetti also made remarks recently at LA Trade Tech College for the final event of Hire LA's Youth, the city-county summer jobs program, which aims to connect at-risk youth with job opportunities in the city, county, and public sector. Over the summer, 11,000 citywide jobs were created for LA's youth, more than doubling the amount of previous years. The county created another 10,000.
20,000 young people
who learn the skills that they will need to succeed, who built the resume that they can take to employers, who understand the workplace and financial literacy.
The Korean American community came out recently for the 42nd annual Los Angeles Korean Parade. Hundreds of parade participants waved U.S. and Korean flags and marched down Olympic Boulevard from Vermont to Western Avenue in celebration of Korean heritage and culture. Mayor Eric Garcetti joined the festivities along with Councilmember David Ryu, who said the festival is a celebration of all immigrants.
It's an opportunity for the community, the Korean American community, to remember where we came from, all that we've achieved, and how much more we have to strive for.
Completing a process that began in 2009, 13th District Councilman Mitch O'Farrell joined recently with the Department of Recreation and Parks to welcome a brand new pocket park in Hollywood. Rich Samuels has the details.
It's a grand celebration in what was once one of the most park-poor places in the city.
You know, Hollywood was built up over the decades without really a concern or a thought at open space and parks. We need parks within walking distance of our communities, and Hollywood has a shortage of that. So we're changing that one neighborhood at a time.
Built with community input during the design process, the 8,000 square foot park, located on Carlton Way, just west of Bronson Avenue, includes a children's playground, accessible picnic tables, porch swings, security lights, and drought-tolerant landscaping. Fitness stations are also part of the mix, offering something for parkgoers of all ages. Thanks to the city and partners including the Trust for Public Land, what used to be a vacant lot is now a community centerpiece.
Trust for Public Land believes that everybody should be within a 10-minute walk of a park or open space, and Hollywood is one of the densest areas, and there were no parks in this area.
No parks, that is, until now. This is Rich Samuels for LA This Week.
Carlton Way Park is the 32nd new park to open in the city of Los Angeles as part of the 50 Parks initiative. Well, a Halloween experience that puts you to the ultimate test. Day of the Dead celebrations continue, and a rain shower that won't get you wet. All this in this week's Things to Do. On Halloween, experience Alone, an ongoing, site-specific, fully immersive and existential experience that explores the range of human emotions. Alone invites you to take a pulse-pounding solo journey that's one part interactive theater and one part psychological haunting. Set off on a terrifying 30-minute walkthrough experience that you must complete entirely on your own, with no friend to cling to and only a flashlight to keep you from total darkness. It's only you, in the dark, alone. Presenting itself in a variety of configurations, Alone explores the complex folds of the human psyche. Check it out on November 1st at 1141 Seward Street. For tickets, visit thealoneexperience.com. Boyle Heights Self-Help Graphics and Art has presented this Day of the Dead celebration for over 4 decades. The event begins at Mariachi Plaza, where a handful of theater groups lead an animated procession to Felicitas and Gonzalo Mendez High School, where you'll find local food and craft vendors. The event begins at 3 p.m. on Sunday, November 1st. For more, visit selfhelpgraphics.com. And it's raining, but you won't get wet. Random International's Rain Room is an immersive environment of perpetually falling water that pauses wherever a human body is detected. The installation offers visitors an opportunity to experience what is seemingly impossible, the ability to control rain. Rain Room presents a respite from everyday life and an opportunity for sensory reflection within a responsive relationship. Random International is a collaborative studio that uses science and technology to create experiences that aim to question and challenge the human experience with a machine-led world, engaging viewers through explorations of behavior and natural phenomena. Rain Room opens at LACMA on Sunday, November 1st on the ground floor of the Broad Contemporary Building. For more, visit lacma.org. And that's a look at some things to do. Well, that's going to do it for this edition. I'm Yana Kay, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thanks for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org. You can also follow and like us on Facebook. We'll see you back here next week for more of LA This Week.